With Trump losing, is America still the best country on earth?
We live?
We live.
We live. Welcome back to the Opinion Factory podcast, the podcast for free thinkers and challenge seekers.
Yes, sir.
I'm Khelil.
I'm Alex. And unless you're living under a rock, Trump might not be president anymore. Still in debate, but with Trump losing, is America still the best country on earth?
Wait, so was it the best under Trump?
Was it the best ever, though? We always hear it's the best country in the world, so I don't know. I'm just asking.
The best ever.
We always hear it's the best country in the world, man. You know, won world wars and all that type of stuff.
Like even from the beginning, though, like it wasn't. I wouldn't call it the best. Like even way back in the day, because
okay. So what's the best country?
The best country?
Yeah.
I don't know who the best country is. I'm sure there's a lot of debate about that. But
so why can't it be us?
Think about how the country started. Like I don't know how
the
Europeans settled their continent, but think about how America started, right?
Everyone kind of started the same way, fam. You know,
they came over and married all the indigenous peoples. Made slaves build the current country, and then treated those slaves and their descendants like trash for forever. Really,
slavery's all over the world, fam. I just want to know: is America the best country? Is America the best country? That's all I want to know. I was just thinking the election just had me thinking. You know, like all this stuff happens. You know. Is it the best country?
In some ways, probably. Like,
because when I think about living here, I've lived here my whole life, and it's a lot of good stuff here, man.
In some ways, it is. In a lot of ways, it isn't.
Let's go pros versus cons here, then, right?
For America, America pros and cons.
America pros and cons. Best country on earth, pros and cons right now.
A few of the pros and cons. We're not gonna get all of them.
No, of course not possible. But let's make a quick list.
Off the top, right?
Off the top, freedom.
Oh,
freedom.
You think America has the most freedom out of anywhere else on the planet?
Maybe not the most, but good amount.
So enough to be the best in that category.
For us to be the best, we don't have to be number one in everything. We can just be like number 5 in like the best things, though. You understand what I'm saying?
But in terms of freedom, like in that specific area.
And freedom, I can go online and type out Joe Biden's a piece of trash or Donald Trump is a racist, and I'll go to jail.
So who's your comparison here? China? Because that's the only
what do you mean? China, Turkey, Russia? Yo, a lot of these places, man. And a lot of these places were very rich countries. You know, China's very rich, Turkey's rich, Russia's like top 10 or top 20. But you can't say nothing like that, bro. You get in jail. You know, you got that type of freedom.
You can talk shit about Boris Johnson in Europe all you want.
You can. But you watch John Oliver, don't you? You watch John Oliver, right?
I do. I actually do.
You know they can't, like, have you ever seen that segment where he's talking about how they can't show like political conversations and comedy sketches? Like, you don't remember that part of the show?
I never saw that one.
I remember he was talking about like, oh, they can't.
Was that about Europe? I know Europe.
Yeah, it was about the UK. They were talking about like, oh, they can't use any political taping in part of the show. That's weird, man.
You know?
That's just weird. I didn't know that. Yeah.
See, that was actually on my.
Because it's a comedy show. What?
Like censorship. I wasn't gonna say freedom as one of the pros of being in America. I was gonna say censorship because
we can say whatever we want, bro.
Compared to other parts of the world, there's virtually no censorship here that we're aware of. Like no blatant censorship.
Oh yeah, and another thing, you said England might be the best country. Like if you say racist stuff in England, you go to jail. Even if it's online, you get jail for it.
I like that though.
Fair, very fair. But tricky situation.
Well, I mean that kind of goes into one of the cons of America, right? Racism.
What? But it's racism in England too, man.
It's not an American thing, but in America, like clearly the tensions are highest here, I want to say.
Ooh.
That's not true. That's not true.
We can't say that at all.
No.
That's not fair, fam.
That
is not fair.
No, it's not. I'm thinking of the racist tensions that affect me. But when it comes to that, what doesn't affect me, Africa got it bad. I know the Middle East got it bad.
Terrible, fam.
Middle East got it very bad. So
how many? There's been a lot of genocides, fam. Armenian genocide, Rwanda civil war.
Yeah.
You know what's going on in China with those with the Muslims.
The Muslims.
Concentration camps.
Yeah. So we can't. Racism
come on,
probably isn't.
Racism is bad. Racism is bad.
No, it is, but America doesn't take the cake for racism. I'll give it that. It's bad here, but it's not as bad as it is in other places.
I'm just saying we have a lot more freedom than you think. Or we have a good amount of freedom, but we can say what we want, not get in too much trouble, you know.
Censorship wise. Probably too much.
Oh, what's up, man? Right now, America's still looking good, bro. If I'm making a checklist, America's still looking good as one of the best right now.
All right, so we got one pro.
We got freedom.
No cons so far because
freedom / citizenship. Yeah. Right. Racism everywhere though, so you know.
Right.
You know.
So I mean, if we want a con to balance things out, one of the easiest con I can think of for America, right? Healthcare.
Yeah. Can't argue that one.
In the developed world, I feel like America has the worst healthcare system that I've heard of. And I've heard of a good amount. And no matter what is being compared to, America has it the worst.
And you got another debate for me. But I was going to say I have my positives list, though, is that we got some of the best hospitals in the world.
You think so? Some of the best care you get here in America?
Yeah, by far. America ranks as the top hospitals all over the place. You have John Hopkins is like a top neurosurgeon spot in the world. You know, John Hopkins is like a very elite. I think like 15 or 20 graduates per year. So it's a very exclusive thing. Children's Hospital is one of the best children's hospitals in the world. You know, I think it's MGH, Mass General. Right here in Boston. Boston has some of the best hospitals too.
Oh, people come from all over the world to go to at least all over the country to go to hospitals in Boston.
Yeah, because we have some of the best hospitals.
Isn't it a shame that we have the best hospitals with the worst healthcare, so that people who live here, who should be the ones taking the most advantage out of this, are getting screwed by it?
True, but I'm just saying, healthcare is way too expensive, but hospitals still looking good. You know, we got some of the best hospitals.
So that's still not balanced. That's still more pros. America's looking pretty good right now, bro. I gotta say.
You know, it's a big one.
A big con?
No, big pro.
Oh, I was gonna say that. Music for sure.
We got all types of music, bro. No one touching American music. American music played everywhere, fam.
From
Prince to Michael Jackson to Fall Out Boy to Bon Jovi to freaking Christina Aguilera to Drake.
You put Christina.
Drake's Canadian. I'm just saying. You get my point though.
Yeah, if you had to send a tape to aliens of the best music that we have to offer as humans, you put Christina Aguilera on that tape?
Sir, I'm just going through A-list celebrity music stars, all right? I'm just going through A-list. Like, we have Maroon 5, we have rock,
yes or no?
We have, like, rock bands, we got Bruno Mars, like, we got all these rappers and singers. No, but it's like, come on.
I agree with that. But even besides that, I feel like American music is affecting music all over the world. Like, and
of course.
Like, K-pop, I feel like it's just an extension of American pop. You have UK rap, which
look at UK. UK is doing like drill rap now. Like that came from Chicago and New York,
and that all comes from America. And I would say that's definitely a pro.
We are the culture. We're the culture of the world. People go around. You go to the Middle East, you see people with Michael Jordan shorts, man.
Oh,
everywhere, man. Come on.
On that note, if music is one of the biggest things in America, movies is easily the best here because we got Hollywood. We're easily.
I had that on my list too, bro. I had that on my list too, man.
You got Bollywood in India, and then you have. I think China is trying to do more with their cinema, but it's not really even close to where America is right now. They got some hits that comes over, and they got their anime movies that's really good, but they ain't touching Hollywood. Yeah. I don't think they'll touch Hollywood for a long time. And not only that, but there's no movies that we're not allowed to watch in this country. Like if you go to, what country was it? Some like books, movies are banned. Yeah, like I think in Iran or something, like just movies in general is banned. It's like,
though. That is true. It is one of those countries, by the way. But You did have like a bunch of places in the South banning Harry Potter books, though. Remember that shit? You remember that shit?
That's just
yeah, you remember that joke? They don't like witchcraft, man.
But I mean, to be fair, that's
a very small minority doing that, but the country as a whole, there's a lot to. I'm just saying, it is funny to think about the freaking people.
I know some people in my family who banned Yu-Gi-Oh cards, their children from having Yu-Gi-Oh cards because they thought it was devilcraft and witchcraft and all that stuff. I had to hide my deck. I'm gonna just say that.
Nah, movies. We got movies a lot. We got freaking Inception, Titanic. Remember the Titans? We got everything, man. The Incredibles. All those Disney. We got everything, fam.
Yep.
Movies.
And we're always the movies that's getting subtitles or dubs.
Exactly.
To get exported.
Is that just our arrogance, though? Is that American arrogance to why we don't watch any other? Like, maybe America's not the best though for movies. Well, if like Bollywood was the best movies, but we just never want to watch them because they don't know in English.
I've seen some not Bollywood movies, but like Bollywood shows, and the way they edit it wouldn't fly here, bro. When they want to show you that someone's the villain, they have so many cuts from all these different angles and like dramatic pans. In like 12 seconds, you see like 34 different cuts, bro. You get it. She's evil. Like, they ain't got to do all that, but they're not there yet. It's not even arrogance. It's just that we do it better.
So as much as people complain about America, man, America's still looking pretty good right now, fam.
That's a lot more pros and cons.
It's looking pretty good right now, fam.
We got to have more cons than that, though.
Oh, I have one. Let me see.
Prison?
I had a couple. Yeah. You got me. I was going to say politics before you go to prison. Politics is pretty trash here. It's just pretty toxic. It's just like toxic,
You think we have the worst, though?
I think it's pretty bad.
It's bad, but there's dudes in Africa who were democratically elected, but then just stayed in power for like 40 years.
The dude Madagascar's, man. I forgot that dude Madagascar's name, but he's pretty bad. Yeah.
You said Madagascar's what?
Yeah, Madagascar got a good dictator over there. That small.
You got a good dictator?
Oh yeah, I forgot that dude's name. It's in Madagascar though.
No, but like.
I mean, maybe not like the politics itself, bro, but like just the culture is very toxic. That's what I would say.
I wouldn't
say it's the worst. I would say it's a con. I'm just saying it's a con. Not the worst, but it's a con.
I wouldn't say that's almost a pro, though. That's because not most people, but a large part of the country is actually engaged meaningfully in politics. And we have that opportunity, and that's why it's so toxic, because both sides know the power that the other side holds. Mm-hmm. You don't really get that privilege in other countries where you don't really have a say in who's leading China or who's leading Iran or you know what I mean? Like, this toxicity that we have is kind of a good thing. We're able to fight. The fact that we're able to fight is kind of a good thing because some people can't even fight at all.
All right. I don't know, man. I just feel like dudes are just at each other's necks all day, man. It's
right. Because if we're not at their necks and they're not at our necks, we know that they're gonna win, and then their side wins when we stop fighting. Think of how many countries that you can't say that in.
Fair. Well, let's go to prison. Carry on.
Prison. We have the highest concentration, the highest population of prisoners in the world. I forgot the statistic, but like we have like a fifth of the world's prisoners. Like,
yeah, we should like one people in jail over here, man.
We already talked about this. Privatized prisons is just the worst invention for Black people and colored people, at least ever. But it's great for those in power, but it's one of the worst things for the people imaginable, and that's what's making America so bad in this regard. You got to get that to heaven, man.
Is a pro for America drugs?
Like the variety of drugs?
No, just like you can do them here.
At what cost, though?
Like, weed is legal in most states now. You can drink here.
Talking about the soft stuff.
I mean, you say soft stuff, you can't smoke weed in a lot of places or drink in a lot of places. Like a lot of countries, drinking is very, like, no.
Okay,
and then on top of that, right? The reason I brought this up, Oregon just decriminalized all drugs over there, right?
Who just did that?
Oregon.
Oh, okay. Decriminalize all drugs, you said?
Yep, all those, like, I forgot how they class the drugs, but like the harder drugs, not on the list like alcohol or weeds at like the talking like
Like cocaine,
ecstasy, crack, meth.
they legalized it.
They decriminalized it, fam. Decriminalized it.
So now, if you get caught with those things, you don't go to jail, you go to rehab, that kind of thing.
Or get a fine.
Oh,
So
so it's like
bro, if you just want to go shoot some meth, shoot some heroin, it's an option. America.
anything that's punishable by a fine is just laws that only rich people can break. Laws that only apply to poor people, I should say. If it's only punishable by a fine, it's laws that only apply to poor people.
I don't know what that for, but
No, that's 100% true, bro. Think about all the people who just park wherever they want. Well, I don't know them personally because I don't have that many rich friends, but I've seen so many accounts of people who like they pull up, they park in a handicap, they park in restricted areas, they get fined. Like, oh, whatever, I'll just pay it. It doesn't matter. It's laws that only apply to poor people. We wouldn't park there because that $50 ticket be fucking up your week. But for them, it's like it's nothing.
But they still pay for the.
So if that's it, then it's really just legal for rich people. That's my point.
They still get fined though.
Right. But that's it. No, they get fined and then they go along their way. They can just do it again. And basically, I have to pay $250 to do LSD. I'm a millionaire. $250 is nothing for me. It's legal for me. That's
it. Carry on, man. Any other negatives, man? Because America's looking real good right now. It's the best country in the world right now. You said what? You said MAGA?
I said who?
You said MAGA?
Maury?
MAGA?
MAGA? I didn't say that. What's going on with MAGA? What's going on with MAGA? No, go ahead.
I thought you said that, bro. I thought you said that. Carry on with your list, bro.
I was gonna say food. America gets the worst version of the best foods from all around the world.
Oh, it's a con?
As a con.
Oh, food here is a con?
Food is a con for me. Like if you go to McDonald's in like Europe, the food you get is what you see on the posters. Like McDonald's is like a delicacy in some countries. Like that's how good they got it. Here it's like it's trash. Like you just spend your change at McDonald's. Chinese food or Asian food, we're not getting the real stuff.
Yes, we have a fusion brand of Americanized Chinese food.
Right, which is not as good as real stuff.
I don't know about that, fam.
And then we have Mexican food, which we all know is better south, more to the south, where there's more Mexicans because they're making it. Right.
Depends on what are you comparing to? You comparing it to Taco Bell, or you comparing it to like
well, Taco Bell.
That spot. Have you ever had Mexican food in East Boston, fam?
No.
It's just fire.
Is it Mexican food in Mexico though?
I don't know. I've never been to Mexico actually.
And what's American food? Just burgers?
Mashed potatoes, French fries, mac and cheese.
I don't think French fries are American, just by the name alone. Mac and cheese out.
I mean, they might not originate here, but it's American food, fam. Casserole, you got that little casserole joint.
Just because we consume it the most doesn't mean it's ours.
I mean, fam, if it's a staple of American, bro. If you go to an American restaurant, bro, what's the options? You got steak, you got burgers, you got chicken, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese.
I would say chicken. Chicken is definitely American food. That's straight from the South.
So is steak, fam.
I don't know about that one.
Come on,
I don't know
why.
100%.
Bro, American food restaurants, what do they have? You go to Outback Steakhouse Fridays, Cheesecake Factory, not Cheesecake Factory. What's Applebee's? What are they talking about? Talking about freaking tenders, chicken nuggets, mashed potatoes, steaks,
they also got
mac and cheese.
Pasta's the most popular dishes, and that's Italian.
At like no.
Yeah.
No, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you go to Fridays. What's Friday's most popular dish?
I don't know.
The Cajun chicken and shrimp pasta.
By
far, I want to say every time I'm on Friday with the group or on a date, that's what I get. That's what the other person gets, or that's what I see the most around me.
I don't know about that, bro. I'm not
that's easily the most popular dish on Fridays.
No, I don't think so. Regardless, what dominates the list is mashed potatoes, chicken, ribs, pork. We eat a lot of meat here in America. So, I'll like to put that as a compliment. I heard British food is trash.
To be honest,
I heard British food is trash, like fish and chips and the So people say it's food and burgers trash,
I never get fish and chips.
bro.
Burgers, I will give you that we probably have the best burgers, but that can't make us win in this category alone.
I'm not saying we'll win, fam. But I'm just saying it's not calm. Oh, matter of fact, it's a positive. You know why? Because we have so many different types of people here. They can get all crazy types of food, fam.
I mean,
I can go to a restaurant. I can go to a restaurant down the street and get Vietnamese food. On the same block, I can get Chinese food, Thai food, Haitian food, Jamaican food, Mediterranean food.
No, I get you.
Nah.
You have that diversity.
This is a plus, bro. I almost let you talk.
That's quantity.
This is a plus.
Over quality. That's quantity over quality, bro.
American food.
What's the quality of those foods?
Top, good, very good, top tier.
Compared to what it could be, though.
I know what it could be. I know what I'm eating is very good. That's what I know. I know it's very good.
All right, man. We'll put that in the gray area. That's not a
pro. It's not a gray area, bro.
I don't want to see food as a pro.
American food and American food options. S tier.
Not to mention how fattening the foods are.
That's the difference.
We're getting obesity in the world.
All right, so that's a con. We have cons. That's all right.
That goes back to food.
All right, so we got some obese people here, man. That's all right. You know.
Some.
A decent amount.
Some.
Yeah. Well, you about to rail on your girl again, man? You didn't talk about her enough last week.
I felt myself going back there. I felt it going back there. I'm not going back there right now.
Well, do that again, huh?
I'm recovering.
You know what you did last episode. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what you did last episode.
You know what? Another con I want to say when it comes to this great country is the fact that separation of church and state is a joke over here. We say that, we don't believe in that at all. We don't really separate church and state. These dudes that want to pass abortion laws, they always cite religion. All the laws that target certain groups like Muslim people, that comes from not just fear, but that comes from religion as well. People afraid of Sharia law and all that stuff is like, I feel like we say the national anthem, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just feel like we do so poorly in this area and it's affecting so many people's lives in a negative way that should be a con when it comes to the bad things about America.
I feel like that's very regional. You know, if we're talking about like America,
you mean like down south, it's more of a problem than up here?
Yeah, if we're talking like America as a whole, is that big a problem in like California or Washington?
Probably not, but we can't ignore the large amounts of people that are being affected by it.
We can't, but I don't know.
And if we're talking about the South, we were just talking about how the food came from the South, so we can't ignore the.
All right, you know what? I'll give you that. We don't separate the religion as much as we should from.
And that's another thing about America. We like to look at the good parts without the bad. Like John Oliver just said this. You know, we just became the country that elected the first woman vice president, the first Black vice president, the first, Southeast Asian vice president. But we're also the same country that just elected a white supremacist right before that. Like, we're not just the country that did these great things. We're also the country that.
George Bush?
No. What? Trump, bro. You thought the white supremacist was George Bush?
I know who he was talking about, so I got confused for a second.
Kamala Harris is the first woman vice president.
Yeah, we know.
First Black vice president, the first vice president of Southeast Asian origins, right? That's a great thing. I love that the country was able to do that. We're the country that did that, but we're also the country who elected a white supremacist as president in the last election.
Okay.
So when we talk about America, we can't just harp on the fact that we just did all these great things. Like, we have to recognize the fact that, all of that is who we are. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, but if we're using this logic, I mean, like, I think the easiest country to compare America to is just England and United Kingdom, right?
I think so.
People were saying those things about Boris Johnson versus Theresa May, I don't think we're unique in that.
No. Well,
And I haven't seen many other European countries have black leaders either.
no. Well,
What do
that's
you mean
true.
no? What do you mean?
I'm thinking. I'm
What do you
thinking of.
mean no, bro?
It was a Muslim. It was a Muslim. I was thinking of that time, that terrorist attack in. I forgot what city it was in. I think it was Paris, where Trump got into the fight with the mayor because he was a
Yeah.
Muslim guy or something. Like I was thinking, like they have some representation in their government at least. Maybe not black,
They
but
do. I mean, they can, but I haven't seen them. Like I know. I know for if you said the woman thing, I'll give you the woman thing. You know for
I was
sure.
gonna say I feel like they have more women officials as
Yeah,
well.
like Theresa May was Prime Minister of UK. Merkel's Chancellor of Germany,
Right.
and they have the Croatian president's a woman too as well.
I think the Netherlands as well.
Yeah, so you got those things, but I mean, I haven't seen a black leader in any of those places either, though. It's a
I'm not
mixed
gonna
bag.
hold you.
It's a mixed bag, fam.
I'm not gonna
I
hold
haven't
you.
seen any black. There's a lot of black people in France. I have not seen a black French leader,
That
a
is
black
actually
French president. Huh?
that's actually true. I'm not gonna hold you. That's true.
Yeah, you
I'm not.
know.
I'm not going. I'm not going to debate you on that one.
So it's a mixed bag. But some questionable things happening here too. But like, there's some
I mean,
progress, man.
it looks like America's still on top in a lot of ways, man. I
Those
feel like
kind
we
of
got a
shit.
lot more pros than cons.
Those kind of shit on America, but I'll say one con, right? It's expensive, bro. It's very expensive.
Like just to live here,
Yeah,
like
but
specific things.
is that because the quality of life is so good here, though?
Is it
Relatively.
though? Like I saw an article. Right, I'm gonna pull this up right now. This is according to 10news.com. The United States is ranked number 17 for quality of life. The rankings encompassed 80 of the world's largest and most advanced nations, and the US was 17th. So is
I
the
mean,
quality of life
I
that
don't know
good?
what factors went into that article.
Like think about like our work week. Some countries have like is it a 4-day work week or
Yeah,
a 30-hour week?
France got a 4-day work week.
You know what I mean? Some
Dudes
countries
always on
don't even
vacation.
have like
All
speeding
right.
limit. You know
So
what I mean? Like
this was
people
one of
just
my
know.
cons. This was one of my cons. We work a lot. We work a lot.
Yeah, facts.
The average person works a lot.
You kind of have to.
And in a lot of places, why I say it's expensive, a lot of places like, you know, if you're making minimum wage or low money, you can't. You have to work like 2 jobs, like 80 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours.
And then maybe, just maybe, you can get by.
Yeah, it's kind of ugly. That is ugly. I'm not saying it's not about other places, but that's expensive, man. And having babies here is expensive too.
Oh,
Because you have to hire a nanny because there's no guaranteed maternal leave required by the government. You know.
right.
So
And
you
the
have
paternal
to,
leave, I don't know if that's a thing in some companies.
yeah, like, I know places in Sweden and Germany and like Scandinavia is really like you get like a year off for
Facts.
both parents. You know, so
I feel like it's very reasonable.
having kids here is very expensive. Just not even off like the regular stuff, but like you have to pay for childcare, which is wildly expensive. So I'll say
And
that's what I mean by expensive.
having babies here is expensive and very risky.
Why risky?
Like just the rates of death of, of having a baby in the hospital, especially when you look at the mortality rate along like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like having
It
a
is
baby is kind of risky.
fair.
I was gonna say like you're talking about the maternal leave, but when you have a death in the family, like you expect like after 3 days off, like that you coming back. Like I actually had someone experience that. Her grandmother died, right? She took it was a week. She took a week off to go down to where the grandmother was for the burial, for the funeral, to grieve, to process what just happened. She was very close to the grandmother. A week goes by, and her job's like, so when can we expect you to come back?
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
That's a little ugly. All right,
It's
so
just crazy over here.
all right, child care and we'll call it family care is expensive and a lack of caring, we'll say. Oh, what else we got here though, man? I got
That's all I got.
I got a couple more, fam.
What you got?
So pros. We got some great landmarks here. some great national landmarks and like historical landmarks there. So we can talk
Like,
about like all the DC monuments, the Chicago monuments, that needle, that needle in Seattle, like the Space Needle. We have the you never seen the Space Needle? I'm not
nope.
sure if it's called the Space. I think it's called the Space Needle, but it's like a really popular like architectural work, like in Seattle, right?
All right.
You have
Sure.
the NASA stuff, like the space program stuff
Yeah.
around,
That's actually a really good pro.
like the rockets. Like that's like think about how many kids go there per year, to see like the spaceships and all that type of stuff. And then we get to the national landmarks too. Yellowstone Park, the
Right.
Grand Canyon. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Okay. Okay.
there's
Yeah, I was.
there's a lot of good Appalachian Mountains, Rocky Mountains.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good spots to see in the
we
country.
got some decent geography.
Yeah,
But when it comes to monuments, I'm not even gonna argue that. But the reason why I didn't put it on my list, even though I thought about it, was the first monument that I thought of was the Washington Monument with the president's faces on it. And I just remember learning that they chose that particular cliff face because they knew that it was very valuable to the Native Americans who lived in that region. And they defaced it on purpose. They put the white man's face on it on purpose as like a slap in the face to them. And so I don't fuck with the Washington Monument. And that was just something that came to my mind. I'm like, you know what? We're not going to do monument.
And I'm sure there's some statues and other monuments that have some bad agendas behind it. But like, fam, everyone wants to go to the Grand Canyon or Yellowstone.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Rocky. I think how many people go to Rocky Mountains and Appalachian Mountains is really big. There's a lot of good spots to visit, man. Charleston has like a lot of good beaches,
And you know what? I almost put New Orleans on my pros list. I never been, but I just always wanted to go.
Mardi Gras, like, you see, one thing we haven't talked about is how diverse it is here, right?
Right.
Diversity is a huge plus. There's always some drawbacks that come with diversity, and like you have racism all the time, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But diversity lets you go to different food spots. You get to go to different cultural spots. Like I don't know if you've ever been to 8 spots, like this little Korean store in Cambridge. It's like the big city outside of Boston. Everything's in Korean. It's like really cool. You go to the store, all the food's in Korean, all the like everything in there is Korean. They have Korean food, Korean noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel like you're in Korea for a hot second, right? The
right.
cashiers speak English or whatever to help you.
Well, they kind of have to, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like really cool. Like, and they have like a Korean bakery in the back too. It's like a really those you can't get that anywhere from. You think they like I feel like they don't have those in a lot of places because it's not diverse.
Like there's no other country that. Well, that's not true. There's Chinatowns in other countries.
There are, but think about like we have Chinatown, we have like little Hades, we have like Caribbean spots, we have like little Mediterranean, like
I was hopping on the food thing not being as good as they're in their countries of origin, but I can't lie, having this assortment of foods to choose from is really a blessing. That's pretty lit.
We got all of that.
Yeah, pretty lit.
My cousin always brought up this point, right? If you are a religious person, and if you're not one of those religious persons who only thinks heaven is just for your race, which is some people think like heaven's only for white people or black people. But if you're a religious person, wouldn't your idea of God's kingdom be like America in the sense of how everyone looks and people of all colors, ethnicities, backgrounds coming together and being able to live in harmony? Like, would that be like a God's kingdom type thing? I think it was a fair argument. I feel like that's a fair argument right there.
It feels uncomfortable to compare America to heaven. When it comes to
what America could be though,
right? Like heaven would be the best version of America. If everyone was here and we all got along, what heaven would be like.
Exactly.
And if we all got 7 virgins when we showed up, but that's the point.
Sick guy.
You know what happens when you get up there? I thought that was in the Bible or something. I don't know.
Depends on which one. Depends on which one you're reading. Might be King James. might be king.
I'm not gonna hold you. That's a good point. That's a good point. Diversity is a huge pro.
Diversity. And we got sports, fam. We got the best sports leagues in basketball's the best sports league.
We do, but I feel like
hockey's the best one.
Hype in other countries. Like, look at how other countries look at soccer or football.
Okay, so but look at how we look at football though. Football's crazy over here. Football
over here, sure, but it's a whole nother level in Europe. It's a whole nother level in Europe.
You're right. Fair.
Like they have cultures built around that sport.
We don't have a culture built around football?
I feel like it's not as pervasive as it is in Europe.
I don't know, man.
Like I don't walk around the city and see like huge like sporting like sports like selling jerseys in the front glass or the showcase. You know what I mean? Like you can walk around with the jersey that you want no matter where you are. And
if you've ever been to the South, especially college football is so big there, whole town is dominated by their college or high school football teams. Like it's like high school college football is a religion in the South. They literally say it's a religion.
I feel like that's not a really good reflection of America.
But hold on. But let me get
as a whole, America as a whole.
For pro leagues, the best basketball league, that's not debatable.
Right? For sure.
The best hockey league, not debatable.
Only hockey league, right?
No, it's not hockey. Hockey's a popular sport in like Eastern Europe and Canada, obviously.
Russia, I think too. Okay.
Eastern Europe. Best hockey league, best basketball league, best baseball league. But baseball's not as popular as other sports, but still, best baseball league. It's like we like American football, but the people that play any type of version of American football, we have the best league for that here as well. So sports, UFC, best boxing, best mixed martial arts. Like,
how many Olympic medals have we won though? Like when it comes to sports, like is America leading the world? Like as the country that
we're always in the top 1 or 2 for every winter or summer Olympics.
Is that right,
bro? We got the best track stars here too. Like track is like here in Jamaica, and that Jamaica's like sprinters, but for overall track, the U.S. has.
But when it comes to long distance, the Africans got it for sure.
Yes.
Marathon
overall track star, come on, 100, 200, 400, the field events, like shot put, the jumping events, all those things combined. Swimming, America dominates swimming. Come on, man. Best athletes over here, baby.
This episode isn't turning out how I thought it was going to turn out.
Oh, man, you guys shine America a lot, man. You might, Trump might have been onto something.
This country's all right.
I'm just saying, fam. Things can be better here for sure. Like the healthcare thing's a big thing.
The healthcare, prison for sure. But I don't want to say other. We must be missing something here. Because for the past 4 years, I've really been feeling like this isn't really it. You know what I mean?
All right. So we're missing a couple of things. All right. So cons, huge con. School, which is also a pro, but also a con.
Well, we had a whole episode
we have some of the best higher education in the world. Everybody knows Harvard. Everybody knows Yale, MIT, Stanford, Duke, Princeton. Right? Everyone knows the Ivy Leagues and those like schools right below Ivy.
People come from all over the country to go to school here.
All over the world. You can't really say that.
All over the world,
You can't really say about the rest of the world. Like the only, I know Oxford. I know Oxford's a really great school in England.
Right.
I really can't. And there's a couple of great ones in Germany. I know that are like really good for engineering. And I imagine there's a couple of good ones outside of it, but everyone comes here. Like you see Boston University, like how many foreign exchange students.
Yeah, the Northeast in particular.
Yeah. School's crazy pricing. Student debt's kind of crazy over here, so it's a major problem.
But besides higher education, how would you say the education system in the U.S. matches up?
Very flawed. We don't do well compared to other countries, though. Like we're like in the 30s for shit,
Yeah.
We live in the richest country. We should have like the highest literacy rate. It's kind of weird that we don't.
Yeah, Cuba has that for some reason, which is kind of strange.
I mean, if you have an authoritarian government, you like everyone got to read.
Yeah, fun fact. Cuba has the highest literacy rate in the world. Last time I checked.
But America should be top 10 at least, man. We like around the 30s. Man. That's not good, bro.
Which I don't really understand because we're the leaders in a lot of industries.
Yo,
Is it because so many educated people come from other countries to work in the US and that's how we become leaders of industry around the world? Like think of all the biggest corporations in America. Weren't they started by immigrants or descendants from immigrants? And I don't mean European immigrants. I mean like recent immigrants. You know what I mean? Like Steve Jobs was, what was he? He wasn't like American or European American. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I don't think Elon Musk. I gotta look into, but I'm pretty sure a lot of our biggest corporations were started, or at least were influenced in large part by immigrant individuals. And I feel like that's what's keeping us at the forefront of so many different industries, especially tech.
You can argue that, but like there's still great tech minds here though. Like I mean, like you have like Elon Musk in South Africa. I understand the point you're trying to make, but like where's the hub for so many of these places? You have Silicon Valley. You have like the guy that started Salesforce and all those other things are like. Yo,
I'm not saying we have nothing, but
we're pretty good.
We know that lower education doesn't really do the best job at preparing a lot of us to succeed in higher education, especially when it comes to math and science. And math and science is what tech is all about. And so if we're lacking in that department, how is it that we're still leading in that department around the world? My best guess, and I think I'm pretty sure I read an article about this like way back when, is because a lot of people come to America to work for opportunity, which is a pro. But because of that, America is leading in all these industries when really America is really immigrants.
I mean, that's always the argument people make, but I mean, if they're American and it's happening here, it still qualifies as making America great, you know?
It is, and that's the thing.
So
that's why
you can't, you know?
I'm not taking it away from America. They came to America for a reason. They were able to make this business in America for a reason and not anywhere else. So I'm not taking that away from the country, but it's just that's the connection between poor lower education, yet leaders of industry, immigrants. In large part, there are some great people who were born and raised here, did well in school, and then became leaders. We have a Facebook guy, Mark Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, yeah.
Right. American through and through, as far as I know.
I mean, fam, I feel like we're harping on. Well, I don't know. Either way,
I feel like this is important to note, though.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's hard. Like this is important stuff. There has to be a distinction between what makes America great and what's actually holding it back.
I don't know. I mean, this thing's holding it back, you know. But if we're just thinking about how bad it is to live here, I mean, things are tough. You know, we're broke, kind of like generational wise speaking.
So I'll ask you this. Why is it that so many people for the last 4 years, I'm talking about the people who did not vote for Trump, feel so strongly that America wasn't this great country, this world leader that it was supposed to be?
Because when you live somewhere, it's easier to see the flaws. You know, like we don't live in Canada. We don't live in England or the UK. We don't live in Germany, France, like other countries we compare the US to. Of course. It's very easy to see the flaws of where you live and to ignore the positives because people take things for granted. Right? So if that's the case, if we're taking things for granted, if we're like when it comes to elections and politics, you focus on things you try to better. You know, like we don't want to have this crazy student debt. We don't want to have to feel like
high rates of obesity.
Yeah, racist institutions. You know, we want to talk about the violence here. The violence here is pretty bad.
Gun violence.
Yeah, gun violence.
Right. We're not going to be able to touch on everything, but
no, gun violence is pretty bad here. It's very bad here. I mean, maybe the violence rate might not be, but gun violence is very bad here.
You mentioned the police.
Police are bad. Police are bad. A lot of places though. Con for sure. But comparatively wise, it's a con. Police,
Right.
con
But it's
for
not the
sure.
worst in the world.
Have you seen the Nigerian thing about
No,
SARS? You haven't seen that about ending SARS? It was like
no.
some government police instant like program that they put in place, and it's like been a huge thing for police brutality in Nigeria. I'm shocked. I'm shocked you haven't seen it. But everyone's calling for end SARS. It's like I forgot what it stands for. But
I've seen that actually.
massive police
Yeah.
police brutality is a problem. So especially in more corrupt countries. Bad here, bad. I'm saying con,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know, fam. It might not be that bad here. Like, where would you move to if you had the where would you move to if you had the option?
If I like in a country or like another part in this country?
Another country.
Another country?
Yeah.
If I had to move to another country, I'm thinking about what you just said. Touring something is a lot different than living. Touring somewhere is a lot different than living there. Right? So
when you live somewhere,
you go somewhere, you see all the good things, you don't see the bad. So I'm very skeptical to pick a country because I feel like for whatever country I pick, I'll be able to like name off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different cons right then and there. But if I had to choose, if I had to move somewhere, it would probably like France because of the larger Black population. I got some family there.
Okay, I mean fair. 4-day work week's the big thing. Probably they get mad vacation time. You know, like a month guaranteed vacation.
Not France, actually. Not France. I'll go to an African country.
Where?
Probably Lagos.
I don't know anything about there.
But I feel like it's on track to become the world's largest city. I know that. So I'll probably go there.
You'll move to the world's largest city?
I'll do that. If I have to choose just for the experience, I'll do that.
No, I'm saying you had to choose somewhere else to live. That would be, near as good as here.
I would probably try over there.
You see, man, it's tricky. It's just tough.
There's pros, there's cons.
I'm not moving to Canada because great as free healthcare is. It's cold as shit up there. I'm not going there. England, the same thing.
That's fair.
More north, cold. It rains all the time in England. Not doing that. Germany,
Asia,
maybe France.
Germany.
Yeah, maybe Germany.
Berlin got some great locations too, though.
Germany's cool. France is cool. A little racist, but cool. A little kind of racist, but cool. More racist than other ones, I should say.
We had a friend who went there, didn't we? He was talking about how I might be thinking of a different country. I forgot where he went, but he definitely experienced some racism over there. It was definitely in Europe, though.
Asia, I'm just too scared. It's going to be way too racist. Not only China.
Not only that, but I feel like Asia, the language is probably among the hardest to learn. They don't use the alphabet.
I want to visit South Korea and Japan, but
you can visit. But I don't
know, fam.
Asia and anywhere in the Middle East, just for the language as well. Like it's so hard to learn.
I'm not in the Middle East for other reasons. But,
I'm not going to mention them, but language being one of them. That's a huge barrier when it comes to choosing where to live. You can go to China. China has more English speakers than America.
Yeah, but the racism thing, man.
Yeah, just delete your social media accounts right now.
Facts. And no social media over there too. That's got the chips.
Yeah.
You can't even watch some movies. You know, there was a show that had like American Idol that lets you vote for the person you want to go forward, and the government like shut that shit down.
What?
It's like, no, I ain't democracy like this coming here. I'm like crazy, fam. I'm just saying, bro. America got some work to do, but does it have a case to be the best in the world still?
It has the potential. I feel like it's lost very little of it with Trump. I feel like it hasn't lost anything it can't get back when it comes to being the best in the world.
Like, all right, so picture this, right? If somehow, some way, America got free healthcare, is it undisputedly the best country in the world?
No.
Why not?
Dudes get thrown in prison for no reason. dudes in prison longer for drug charges compared to some rapists. Nah.
Okay. Fair. No, that's fair. To wrap this up with our question that I'll ask is, do you think America is the best country in the world? Why or why not? That's all I'm gonna say. And if you don't think, if you don't think it's the best country in the world, what country do you think is the best? That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. If you got a pros and cons list, I want to see what that looks like too. We had a few things. I feel like we easily have more pros and cons.
I mean, we missed a bunch of stuff, man. But
of course, naturally,
we can't get through everything.
Right. But let us know what you guys think. Comment down below if you're watching on YouTube.
Opinion Factory Podcast. Follow us on Apple, Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up on YouTube and leave a comment down answering the question. And please subscribe to the channel and leave us an Apple Podcast review on Apple Podcast.
Make sure you share with your family, with your friends. I know we're still all kind of recovering from this election, and we're thinking about the status of this country. So let us know what you think.
Oh, shit. Share with your foreign friends too. Your foreign family. Opinion Factory Podcast. We will see you next week.